Episode 9 is set to evolve the characters of both Kylo Ren and Rey by writer and director J.J. Abrams in this movie. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing that a lot of fans are looking forward to seeing in this film is, of course, exactly how JJ is going to use those characters. Now, I will say that one thing that I do love about the Star Wars franchise is how the main protagonist and/or antagonist goes through major changes within each film of a specific Star Wars trilogy. One great example is Anakin, Luke, and, of course, Kylo Ren in the prequels, originals, and sequels. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art, and storyboard descriptions, etc. One of which has all to do with one of the new appearances for the character of Rey. Specifically, a description of Rey wearing ceremonial Jedi robes, and looking much like both Obi-Wan and Luke Skywalker as a Jedi Master. Her hair is down and loose, and also described as messy and hanging out from the hood that's over her head. She sports black gloves, brown boots, and holds an ignited, unstable blue lightsaber. She is also wearing a backpack described to be full of Jedi relics, including lightsaber hilts, the sacred texts, and even holocrons. Another goes over Rey with another new appearance, sporting a black robe, with a raised collar and a Luke Dark Empire fashion. Her hair here is described to be in a ponytail, a hairstyle that has never been seen for the character of Rey in the sequels. So I really want to go over a couple of parts about this that are really getting me very excited about how Rey is going to look in this movie. Now, we do know that with every single Star Wars film, and this has been a thing since, it all started, is that the main protagonist and/or antagonist in each movie has several different appearances. If you look at Rey in The Last Jedi, there are tons of new appearances for the character, as well as Kylo Ren, and even the character of Luke Skywalker. So as we go into Episode 9, it has been described before in the past that Rey is going to look very knighty in this movie at one point in time. However, for this one, this is all to do with her looking more like a Jedi. Now, she's wearing the ceremonial robes, apparently, with the hood over her head, her hair is down, it's described as being very messy and far longer, and hanging out of the hood itself. So this sounds like that Rey either has become a Jedi Knight or is on the path to become a Jedi Knight. Now, I don't know why she would be wearing ceremonial robes. Now, this could be her new appearance by the end of the movie in the form of either, let's say, for example, an epilogue or a time jump at the very end of the film showing us what her life is like after the events of Episode 9, perhaps. We could quite possibly see something like that. Or this is going to take place in the middle of the film, where she is actually getting a lecture by the Force Ghost of Luke Skywalker. Now, what really does stick out to me is how she's actually described as wearing a backpack full of Jedi relics. Now, this actually consists of Jedi lightsaber hilts and, of course, the sacred texts, and even Jedi holocrons. So you can see what she's really doing here. She's really trying to gain as much Jedi knowledge as possible, as well as salvage anything that's related to the Jedi Order to rebuild a new one. And I'm really liking how things are turning out so far. Now, I know a lot of you guys out there may not like the idea of Rey rebuilding the Jedi Order, and I totally get that, I do. But I think that in order for this to really make it work, they really do have to explain why she even has the capability to rebuild the Jedi Order herself. She has to gain the knowledge first, right? So I believe that the sacred Jedi texts are full of knowledge, as Yoda has hinted before in The Last Jedi to Luke. That's pretty much all they needed, was the sacred texts. And with that being said, she also has the Anakin Skywalker lightsaber reforged and fixed. As far as the other appearance goes, which we heard about lightly before in the past, is her wearing this black robe, alright? So this black robe that actually has a raised collar in a Luke Dark Empire fashion. So I don't know if you guys read the Dark Empire comics from the 90s. I believe it was from Dark Horse, I'm not quite sure. But what's really intriguing is that Luke Skywalker, when he turns to the dark side, he has a raised collar. So the collar behind his neck is raised. So actually Rey has something like this in Episode 9, but in the form of a robe, underneath it all. So that's very interesting for sure. And the other thing is that in that actual appearance, she's wearing a ponytail. So a full-on ponytail for the character of Rey, a hairstyle that we have never seen before in the sequels yet. So I gotta say guys, I'm really liking how the character of Rey is sounding so far. It seems like they want to show her, you know, with either very loose hair or just a nice basic hairstyle such as a ponytail. And they're actually growing it out. Mind you, this takes place 1 year after the events of Return, or should I say of The Last Jedi. So roughly 1 year after the events of that movie, these characters are going through some changes. We do know that Finn and his hair has actually grown out a bit, as well as Rey's in this movie. Anyways guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again. No.